This is the Transformers Generations Netflix War for Cybertron Trilogy's Deluxe class, Elita 1. I picked up this figure from Hobby Corner. Let's get her out of packaging. And here is Elita 1 out of packaging, and I figured since she's just basically a retool, redeco of the EARTHRISE Arcee, I thought I'd show off this mold starting with the alt mode or the car mode, then we'll move up to the robot mode. Since I've already done Arcee from robot to car mode, we'll do her in reverse. So here she is, very nice. This is the best I could do to have those panels all tabbed in. The slightest movement from these panels will detach here and there and there. These panels are just hanging by a thread. I kid you not. That's how bad the clearance is and tolerances for these tabs are. I don't know what's wrong with this mold. I think it's an issue with the mold because the panels don't seem to line up properly, except in a very, very precarious way like this. So if I just tap this panel on, it's going to detach, and it's going to take me again forever to do so. But this is the best I could do. It is possible to have all the panels tabbed in on straight. This one there's a gap right here just because there's a latch here that allows you to, it's like a spring-loaded latch that allows you to detach the front end of the car, but it is possible. Also, I will note that, like I mentioned in the Arcee, there is a way to fold the legs all the way into the cavity of the shell forming piece of the car so that you can roll the alt mode very smoothly without any of those bits of the legs scraping the floor or scraping the ground. And like I said, the way you do it is you line up the knees on those notches right there. You tuck in bit of the knee underneath this tab right here, bit of the feet underneath those tabs right there. If you tuck both legs underneath these panels, then everything should clear the wheels, and you can have that smooth rolling of the alt mode. Okay, speaking of Arcee, here she is. Side by side, and again, this was the best I could do with my Arcee to tab everything in place. And as you can see, these panels are at an angle just so they can hold on to those tabs so that those tabs aren't going to pop off at an angle. But with the Elita one, I was able to straighten out those panels and still have them tabbed in. And this is, you probably realize, this is why I decided to start in the alt mode for Elita 1, because I don't think I'll be able to get her back in this nice condition in alt mode during the review. Okay, so they look great together. Elita 1 kinda looks like less premium than Arcee. I really love the pink plastic on Arcee. It does have that premium look to it. This one, on the other hand, is a little bit on the dull side. It's by no means cheap. It doesn't feel cheap. It just looks cheap. But when you touch it, when you feel it, it actually feels nice. There is a little bit of a gloss on some of the bits of the plastic, but there's a lot of, I should say, unpolished or unbuffed parts of the plastic that kind of gives that appearance or semblance that it is made of cheap plastic. She does have some paint as well, much like Arcee. There's some white paint right here. Autobot logo, much bigger than the one we see in Arcee. The seats are painted. The back part is not painted. One thing to note though, when I took her out of packaging, she was in robot mode. This was gone. This piece right here, I transformed her into alt mode, and I was like, wait a minute. When I saw this, I was like, oh my god, is it my bad luck again with Hasbro having a quality issue? I went through the carpet, rummaged through it, and luckily I found this. So, word of advice, when you're unboxing your Elita 1, be very careful, as this thing loves to fly off. One last bit of size comparison before we move on to the details of the figure into robot mode. Here they all are. All the fembots, female Autobots in Siege, Arcee, Elita 1, and Chromia. They look great together. Chromia being the biggest alt mode. So the figure comes with a weapon as well. And this is, again, they used clear plastic. I guess whatever plastic they used for the windshield and the crest, they are going to use for the blaster. The clear plastic on this one does look a lot more premium than the Arcee, though, but it's still clear. It's like a plastic gun or a glass gun, but anyway. So let's transform her. Pull out the legs like this. Okay, and then just detach this piece right here and remove the body. Just fold her up like this so that this thing is cleared. Okay, and then let's try and do this without removing this entire top back section. Just pop off, just pop up that area right there. Okay, and then fold the panels up like this, and then rotate and tab in to the back like that. Okay, rotate, rotate that head. God, that's tight. Okay, and that's the head. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and fold back this whole back piece, fold the grill of the car, and then the panels right here, the front panels are supposed to fold back like that. Did I just break it? No. Okay. Yeah, it's still pretty tight. Okay. It's the first time it happened to that bicep, but with this one, the moment I took it out of packaging, this one just popped off. Okay. And fold. Let's see. Okay. Tab that back in. This was pretty tight, you know. The backpack tabbed in fairly tight when I was doing it the first time. Okay. And essentially, that is the robot mode. Also, another thing that popped was this leg piece, this leg joint. When I first tried to rotate it, it just popped off. I guess it's mold degradation, I don't know, but just be wary of that. The bicep just loves to pop off. Oop, like I said, it just loves to pop off. I guess it's the mold degrading. I'm not sure. They've been doing this. They've done 3 versions of this mold, and I guess it's just taken a toll. Looking at the details of the figure, it's got the same areas where there's paint on Arcee. There's also paint here on Elita 1, like on our hips, and the head sculpt on the chest. It's got an Autobot symbol, Autobot logo right here. You have a quick look at the head sculpt. Let's see. It's pretty good. It's actually pretty nice. It's got this glossy orange for her helmet. It's painted in the front. Red plastic at the back. The face is nicely painted. And that is a gorgeous, gorgeous head sculpt. Wow. The eyes are a separate piece. That's why there's no paint smudging. I think that's a technique that Hasbro's been doing now for Transformers. The lipstick is painted nicely. Very glossy face, very glossy helmet. Love the details on this figure. And I'm glad they did not do battle damage paint apps for this figure. I really like her clean. So the backpack is removable. Just pop it off like this. We'll have a more streamlined figure, a better looking silhouette. You can get rid of it just like Arcee. And this is how she kind of looked like on the show. And now comparing her with Arcee, as you can see, they've remolded that chest area. It's less perkier than Arcee. The head sculpt is different. It's a brand new head sculpt. The pelvis or the waist piece is a different mold. So suffice to say, there's some heavy retooling done on this Arcee figure when they gave us Elita 1. As you can see, the details right here. Some paint apps on the hips, paint apps on the chest, the Autobot logo, and a lot of paint apps on the head sculpt for Elita 1, which we don't see on Arcee. So intrinsically, you're kind of getting a different figure. because of the amount of heavy retooling done on this mold. So I really like that. I honestly thought they were just going to give us a new head sculpt and kept the same body, but it's really different. The entire torso has been remolded. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention, the shoulders. That's why I had a difficult time transforming her. The shoulders are different. She's got these pointy shoulder pads. They're different from Arcee's ball joint shoulders. Forearms are the same, the hands are the same, the thighs are the same. Thighs on Elita 1 are painted white. That's why it was very tight to twist that thigh joint when I first opened her up. And the rest of the leg is unpainted, much like Arcee. And so some final thoughts on this Elita 1 figure. I think it's a great figure. If you're a big fan of the show, you are going to want to pick up this figure. In fact, I think it is a must-have. She being the second in command to Optimus Prime, you gotta have this figure. Despite the shortcomings that the figure may have, I think Hasbro still did a wonderful job with this figure. In fact, between the two figures of Arcee and Elita 1, I think the superior figure is Elita 1. I think the mold was really made for her. Not to take anything away from the Arcee figure, I thoroughly enjoyed that figure. In the same vein, I really enjoyed this Elita 1 figure. Elita 1 is going to get a 10 out of 10 for me. I honestly think she's worth picking up, especially if you're a big fan of the Netflix show. Let me know in the comment section what you think of this figure. Do you agree with me? Do you think it's a pass? Do you think Hasbro can do better? Let me know in the comment section. And as always, hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. If it's your first time here, please subscribe. And if you want to help out the channel, please check out my Patreon account. There's a link in the description box below. Thank you so much for staying till the very end of the video. It really helps us with the views and the algorithms that YouTube has and all that stuff. Thank you very much. And I wanted to point out this particular insert that I found in the packaging of Elita 1. If I'm not mistaken, it appears to be a part of a diorama of Teletran 1 or the Arc or something you have to build. And it has letters that says A, B, and the arrows pointing there. The instructions don't mention anything about this. So if I'm to surmise what this is all about, it could be those collapsible backdrops or background dioramas that Hasbro seems to be fond of, and which they've been doing for Star Wars for a long time now. Since the movie Solo, and I guess we'll be doing it with Transformers. We'll find out more when I open up the other Netflix figures that I picked up. But as it is, this was an interesting bit, and I'm looking forward to building this diorama. Oh, whoa! You guys, get a room!